You've been noticing some rather big energy in the collective. Lotus Dawn here with Blossom with the stars, true to the actual star sidereal astrology. And there is some big energy happening with the planetary bodies that you may be feeling. So I wanted to jump on here. I'm out in this beautiful nature spot taking in some beautiful sunshine in Southern California. And I was thinking about what you might be going through and how this information may help you get a better sense of some sort of major cycles that are at play here. So, number one, we are at the closing out of 2025, and 2025 has been a rather intense year. Raise your hand if it's been intense for you. Comment below. Why is that? Why has that been the case? Well, from a numerological perspective, 2025 has been the year of 9. In numerology, 9 represents the final number in the sequence. It's the finish, it's the completion. And so it represents the finale, if you will, the closeout cycle of a 9-year cycle. So if you want to get more information about what you're finishing up 2025, what this is a completion of, look back over the last 9 years of your life. 2017, in fact, is when it began. And ask yourself, what cycle am I closing out? What big monumental pattern am I shifting through? And that's going to give you so much information about what you're going through right now. Now, what's really exciting, though, is that next year is going to be a brand new cycle. I'll get into that in a moment. It has also been in Chinese astrology the year of the snake. And the snake, if you think about what the snake represents astrologically, energetically, intuitively, it represents transformation. It represents intensity. It represents transformation of the old into the new, really shedding our skin. And so last year, 2025, as a 9 and a snake year, has been all about shedding our skin, clearing the deck, clearing the attic, clearing the garage, clearing all the spaces and places in our energy bodies, in our thought field, in our lives of old stuff, old emotions, old ways of being, old thought patterns. And when you add in astrologically the fact that Pluto, which is the god of transformation, went into Capricorn in 2024, and Pluto is transformation and Capricorn is structure. Not only has it been a year of 9, which is the shedding of, sometimes they call 9, the shedding of the last tears, and the snake, the shedding of the skin, letting go of the past, but Pluto, the planet of deepest transformation, went into Capricorn in 2024. So we've had 2 years now, and it's going to be a 13-year cycle, y'all. Capricorn is structure, it's solidity, it's foundational, it's governmental, it's authoritative. And so when the planet of transformation goes into the sign of structure, you can expect the next 13 years, including 2025, in fact, the first years of it will be the most intense because the structures, the ground, the foundation that we've built our lives upon, such as our jobs, our work, our government, our relationship to society, the structure of our family, etc., is going through a huge shift, a huge clearing out, a huge transformation. Now, it's really interesting to speak about Pluto and Capricorn today. I looked at the chart right before I came on here, and I went, what are the chances that today, on December 7th, Pluto, the sign of greatest transformation in the year of transformation, is exactly opposite the moon. The moon, of course, representing emotion, representing mood, representing how we feel, sort of the collective mood, the collective environment of emotionality. And so today we might be facing some rather deep emotional catharsis, awareness, light coming to us about some pattern we've had emotionally or in our family. Me personally, I've been doing deep work and healing my ancestry and actually assisting a lot of being able to energetically test and discover that a lot of my ancestors were actually earthbound, including my grandfather and my grandmother, and actually assisting them through an energy clearing process that my partner and I utilize with our clients to help them go to the light. And so this is a really powerful process to do, and it's something that's actually affecting a lot of people, is that we have friends or family that we've loved for and cared for that for whatever reason they get stuck or they get earthbound. And so the next 13 years with Pluto, the transformational planet in the sign of structure, it's going to be a really good time to assist those that have departed, because Pluto is the god of the underworld, to go to the light. And that's actually, I think, one of the big things that's going to be developing more and more is people who assist other people who have become earthbound to actually ascend and go into the light. So that's a whole nother video right there. But coming back to the message at hand, which is where are we at energetically right now, and what are we moving into? Is there hope on the horizon, Lotus? So not only is this a 9-year 2025 that's about to end, right? Woohoo, we made it through. Congratulations, high five if you're out there and you made it through, because holy cow, I don't know about you, but everything has been brought up to the table to be cleared this year. Not only is it a 9, I know it has for me, and I've been holding on to hope and to God and to knowing, okay, it's a 9-year, just get through it and you're going to get onto the other side, which I'm going to talk about too in just a little bit here. So not only has it been a 9, not only has it been the year of the snake, and if you think about the snake, I just had a dream about a snake, which I feel like the snake energy is really culminating right now, because the sun, which represents our spirituality and our purpose and our light, right? It shines so vibrantly. It's so powerful. Let's see if I can actually get it in the shot. Is in Ophiuchus right now. Let's see. It's hiding right behind my hat. It's in Ophiuchus right now, which is the sign of energy mastery. Ophiuchus, right, is the secret sign. It's the sacred sign. It's the guardian of the galactic center. So right now, planetarily, we have the sun right in the location of the galactic center. And that's a really powerful energy. I don't know how much you know about the galactic center. I've spoken to it a bit. It is located in the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which is the center of our galaxy. And it is home to what were ginormous stars. They were huge, bigger than the sun by millions. And those stars were so bright and so vibrant that they burned out really fast. And so the remnants of those stars are in the center of the Milky Way, and it's called Sagittarius A star. And it's actually a super massive black hole that actually sends out radio frequencies and energies, and actually sends out radiation. And that energy becomes the closest to us at this time of the year, every year, November 30th through December 18th and 19th. And so this is a really powerful time, because when you think about yin and yang energy, the deepest yang of our galaxy would be the sun, because it's so big, it's so vibrant, it's so full of light, it's hot, it's heat. Whereas the deepest yin would actually be the galactic center, because of the supermassive black hole. And so if you think about our galaxy as representing the greatest yin and the greatest yang, the sun is currently the closest to the greatest yin it will ever get during the yearly cycle. And it's actually conjunct Mars, which is the planet of energy and action and leadership. And so we have both the sun and Mars in the greatest yin sign of the entire constellational wheel. And what does that mean? Well, if you think about yin, yin is highly fertile. Yin is the blackness, it's the dark, rich soil that we plant all of our seeds, and they grow and they flourish and they become bounty, right? And so this may not be the time of year where you manifest big things instantaneously, but it is the time of year where you want to plant those seeds because it's the most fertile time of the year to set your intentions, for 2026, to set your intentions for your life, to vision. And so you may be noticing maybe you feel more internal with the sun and Mars, the greatest yang planets, the sun and Mars, in the greatest yin sign. You may be feeling more internal. Your energy may be going within. And that's beautiful because it is the winter. It is the winter because in Celtic calendar, winter began November 1st. And so we're in the depths of winter right now. And the high point of winter will be December 22nd at the time of the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the time of the summer solstice down in the southern hemisphere. So very interesting that in the north, we're going towards the deepest yin, the deepest winter, and down in the south, they are headed towards the deepest yang, the greatest light. So it's a very interesting polarity that we have occurring here. So we have the sun and Mars, in the sign of the greatest yin, the greatest, most fertile time to set intentions, to plant seeds, to visualize what you want to create. And then we have another factor at play here, which is that it's so interesting. A couple weeks before Thanksgiving, Jupiter, the millionaire planet, the king of the gods, the largest planet. So if you were to put a lot of the planets in the yang category, it would be Mars, the sun, and Jupiter. I would put those all in the yang, outward, external, activating, right? Jupiter, Mars, and the sun. And Jupiter went retrograde. And so retrograde is an interesting thing. Retrograde is like taking a planet and making it more yin, right? It's releasing the forward momentum of that planet. So Jupiter, naturally, when it's forward moving, it likes to be very strong and outward and external, and it helps to create momentum, and it helps to create forward action and help you to create luck and fortune and abundance and prosperity. But when Jupiter goes retrograde, all of a sudden that forward momentum appears to go backwards. It's simply an appearance because the planet is not actually going backwards, but it appears to be so, right? And so the sign that that planet is in when it goes retrograde, it's going to go back into the sign before it, but the sign that it's in when it turns has huge meaning, has huge impact, is very significant for us. And the length of time that that planet goes retrograde is also highly significant. And so Jupiter went retrograde at the end of November, mid-November, and will be retrograde until March of 2026. And so the sign that it went retrograde in and the fact that it's the biggest planet has a big impact. And I really think that all of you out there, you may be noticing this, you may be sensing this. And so I wanted to share this with you so that you would be able to put on your wall, okay, March is when the big stuff is going to move, okay? March is when the 2026 is going to really come into effect, right? But what sign did Jupiter go retrograde? Jupiter went retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which is very interesting because at the moment of retrograde, it was directly opposite Pluto, the great transformer, in the sign of Capricorn, the government. And that's bringing deep things up to the light. It's revealing secrets. It's revealing truth. It's revealing things that have been hidden, like the skeletons in the closet around the structure. And Jupiter being in Cancer is the sign of the home and the family and the ancestry and the DNA. And so what that tells me is that the next 4 months are going to be a really powerful time to unearth our family stories And Jupiter has now since moved from Cancer retrograde back into Gemini and is now in the sign of communication, expression, teaching, learning, information. And so there's a lot more happening around rethinking our thinking, rethinking our thoughts, rethinking the information, the stories we tell ourselves, especially around our family, how we grew up, the story of our mom and our dad. And of course, we just had Thanksgiving, so it's very interesting that we just Jupiter, the biggest planet, went retrograde at the time of the biggest one of the biggest family gatherings of the United States, which has a big impact on the world. And so it's really kind of a revelatory time, especially for the next 4 months, especially around family, right? You might be noticing that, we all tend to have stories around our family, around our upbringing, around what we went through as children. And I know I have so many stories of what I went through as a child. And I'm noticing that I'm sort of having to confront those a bit more than usual right now. And there's a lot of healing that's possible at this time, especially around our relationship to our family, our relationship to the story of our family, the relationship to what happened to us as children, what happened to us with mom and with dad specifically. And then since Jupiter is such a big planet, it amplifies it and it becomes not only what happened with you and mom and dad, but what happened to mom and dad, and what happened to their mom and dad, and what happened to their mom and dad. And so it's a really good time to talk to your parents and to learn the story of your ancestry, and to learn about what did your ancestors go through. As with Jupiter originally going retrograde in the sign of Cancer, the main focus for Jupiter for the next 4 months is family, is DNA, is ancestry, is our relationship to mom and dad and to our families, our past family and our current family, the ones that we're building now. What type of family do we want to have? What type of home do we want to have? So it really, Jupiter in Cancer really relates to home. It relates to nurturing. It relates to nourishment. It relates to how we feel. And I can already sense, and as I'm sharing this, so much coming up in the collective. So if you're going through that right now, there is a really great method I can teach you that my partner and I use in our energy clearing work, and I use with my clients in my one-to-one sessions, to acknowledge whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions Jupiter in Cancer retrograde, now back into Gemini, might be bringing up for you. And it's very simple and it's very, very powerful, and I use it quite often. And you take your hand and you come to this area here on your collarbone and you just start rubbing. And what it does is it activates the neurolymphatic energy flows of your body, and it actually begins to create a relaxation response. And so if you're feeling a lot come up as I share this, as I can sense into the collective you can just rub right here. And you just tune into whatever I'm saying is bringing up for you, whatever you're going through right now. And you simply say and acknowledge, even though I am feeling sad, overwhelmed, anxious, tired, whatever it is, it's okay. You want to just acknowledge it's okay that you're feeling that. I love and accept myself. And then you go the next layer. Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed or overworked or overwrought, it's okay. I still love and accept myself, even though I don't know what to make of what she's sharing, and I'm a little nervous or anxious about what it might be bringing up over the next 4 months. It's okay. I still love and accept myself. It's okay to be feeling this. It's okay to be going through this because I love and accept myself, and I know that if anyone else was going through what I'm going through right now, they would feel exactly the same way. So it is okay. It's okay to be here. You breathe. Being out in nature is really nice to do this process. And you're just rubbing right here, which is activating the neurolymphatic system, which is where stuck emotions and energy can kind of get lodged in that fluid, actually. And so as you start to move it, you start to activate its flow. You start to bring it into flow, right? And so stuck energy or stuck emotions is just energy that's gotten stuck. So if we feel bad, it's just because there's a stuck emotion. And so rubbing right here can allow it to flow. And so having Jupiter go retrograde in Cancer is very symbolic of the emotional field. And so this practice over the next 4 months may serve you very, very well as you go forwards. It may serve you to get out of any stuck energy that might come up, and it may assist you to get through any deep emotions that Jupiter and Cancer may bring up for you. Because what it's doing, so what's the purpose of it? Why is it good? Yeah, Lotus, you're sharing that all of a sudden, the next 4 months, the planetary bodies are going to activate and bring to the surface unexpressed, repressed, trapped emotions from my family, from my childhood, from my ancestors, from my DNA. Oh my gosh, I feel so overwhelmed. That's probably the feeling that's coming up. So it's okay. I still love and accept myself, and I know that whatever comes up, it's going to be okay, because I'm going to be able to use this process. I'm going to be able to confront what I feel, and I'm going to be able to transform it. And that the gift of this, and the reason that this Jupiter retrograde is so wonderful, if you look at it from a bigger, higher perspective, from the eagle's eyes, is imagine all the stuck, buried, hidden stuff we all are carrying around related to our family, our mom, our dad, our ancestors, that's just there, and we're getting by, we're manifesting the best we can with it. But I want you to fast forward and imagine that if you confront that stuff and you bring it to the surface over the next 4 months, which is what the universe is inviting you to do, that by March of 2026, my goodness, you're going to be a new person. You're going to have transformed things that you might not even been aware you were carrying. And how powerful will it be to have a new space and place within you to then manifest the flip side of Jupiter going direct in Cancer, which, Jupiter in Cancer, if you're to compare it to a tarot card, would be the 10 of Cups. Total fulfillment, happiness, mom and dad smiling, the children happy, everyone coming together to celebrate, to have a beautiful meal, to enjoy their time together. And so Jupiter retrograde is also a really good time to dream build about your ideal family life. Do you want to be married? Do you want to have children? Do you prefer to be single and connect to a friend family? What's your dream vision? What's your ideal family scenario? Is it to have children? Is it to not have children? Is it to be a great aunt? What does that 10 of Cups family scenario look like for you? That's a really great thing to do over the next 4 months, is to dream build, is, to look through magazines and imagine your ideal home, and imagine where your ideal living place is, and imagine, what do I really want? Okay, so Jupiter retrograde in Cancer is really asking, what do you really want when it comes to your relationship to home? What kind of home do you want to have? Excuse me, I'm burping as I'm clearing. I think I'm probably helping to clear with you all as we go through this and think about this. What would your ideal relationships with your family members be? Would your ideal romantic relationship be? Your ideal relationship to food, to nourishment? Would you like to grow your own food? All these things are really great to contemplate over the next 4 months with Jupiter retrograde. And this is a big factor to what the collective may be feeling right now. The good news is that another planet, Neptune, which is the planet of spirituality and intuition, is going direct on December 10th. And when Neptune is retrograde, Neptune is the planet of mysticism, of dreams, of intuition, of fantasy. It can be delusion. And when Neptune is retrograde, we have a hard time having clarity is really tough, and it was retrograde for 2 or 3 months, okay, starting back in September. So you may have noticed, gosh, I felt really fuzzy from September on. And that's because Neptune is the god of fantasy, illusion, imagination, dreams, escapism, spirituality. And when it's retrograde, we can get kind of very deep in our consciousness. So if you felt a little bit fuzzy or like unclear about your focus, the good news is that Neptune goes direct December 10th. So we have some ease around our ability to visualize, our ability to dream, our ability to tune in to our truth and what we want to create. So that's really good news. And then as a finale, to really get excited, I've gone over 2025 and kind of what that energy has been about. We only have a couple weeks of 2025 left.